All right, folks, thank you all for coming. This is, as you can see, the Declassified Con and MAGFest Survival Guide. I am one of your hosts. I go by the nickname Vortex. I have other names as well. Some folks here are aware of it. This is the creator of said panel, and he is going to get to intro himself.
All right, thank you. I'm the Cyclone. So this is my third or fourth panel.
It sounds about right, yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see, I put a lot of effort into the first slide. Everything else is not great. This is my annual reminder that I am terrible at making presentations. Disclaimer. We will not be giving any advice, direction, instruction, etc. on anything illegal or that goes against any and all code of conduct presented by MAGFest or any other convention. We will not be held liable or responsible if you do something against these codes of conduct and get yourself kicked out. We will also not be revealing all of our secrets, especially not if we are being recorded. Did you have something? You had something to say?
I can't really add to that. That's more of a disclaimer than I usually get. I'm used to being a trivia host, so I say a whole different spiel to begin this. I will refrain on this day.
And I usually give a different one when I announce for pro wrestling.
We do a lot of things.
So, story so far. Who are we? We've introduced our code names, so to speak. This will be my 7th MAGFest, but I've been going to conventions for 16 years now.
Sounds about right. I've been going for quite some time as well. This would have been my 10th MAGFest, except there was that one year we don't talk about where everything went on pause. I also have the glorious misfortune of being somebody who runs a convention, and my advice on that is don't. Let me make that real simple. However, if you ever do have questions about that, that's a after the panel kind of thing, but feel free to pick my brain. That said, because we are habitual collectors of shiny things, we thought it might be nice to give you a physical representation of just exactly how many conventions we've been to.
These are all, I'm pretty sure these are all the convention badges that I own and that you own. Is that correct?
Minus a couple I couldn't find,
okay.
And one that's not even mine, but from an old friend. So I actually have 2 of the same MAGFest badge on here in honor of a friend who doesn't come anymore, but why not?
And so why are we doing this? We want to help people we've been coming to conventions for a long time. We say every year we get better and better at doing MAGFest at conventions. So we want to pass as much knowledge on to as many people as we can to make your convention going and MAGFest going experience that much more enjoyable, that much easier. Because we know, especially with MAGFest, and we'll get into this, it is, as for first timers, it is a lot. I remember my first time coming to a MAGFest, it was extremely overwhelming. If I knew then what I know now, it would have been way easier.
And I can safely say, some of our friends, their first convention ever was MAGFest, and that is the very definition of 0 to 100 in 0.1 seconds. One of our friends, it took them 2.5 days to walk around and finally decompress enough, and then they said, oh, I get it now. This is who I am.
So, first things first, some very simple things that we will go over real quick. Sleep, get it. Food, eat it. Water, drink it. Showers, take them. Deodorant, please, for the love of God, use it.
This is actually still part of our disclaimer, by the way.
Pre-convention. So the first thing we want to talk about is money. Because that always is kind of, for me, is one of the things that is the first thing I start to think about. When it comes time for planning for a convention, badges. So a lot of you know this is a sold-out convention, okay? How to be in the loop on that. Follow all the social medias first and foremost. Every social media that a convention has, follow it. Just because there are times where, depending on the website or whatever, certain social medias will get the announcements first, even by a couple minutes. And like in the case of Gen Con, that can be a massive head start. Calculating price and time of badge sale. MAGFest, for one, most conventions go on sale around the same time every year. So like this year it was August. It was like towards the end of August.
August or maybe September, I think, ballpark, yeah.
keep that in mind. If you know you want to go to a certain convention or whatever, keep that in mind. And then when it comes time to it, look back at what the price was for the badge. Add $20 to $50 to that. That is what you need to save up to hopefully guarantee your badge or ticket.
And something I think is a good time to go ahead and call out, because we did talk about following that convention on as many social media channels as possible. I think here we pivot, and this is your first little bit of MAGFest specific knowledge. The Discord for MAGFest is extremely active all year round, because this is not the only MAGFest show. There's MAGStock, there's MAGWest on the West Coast, etc. So there's things happening all year. That is the most active, I'd say, followed by the Facebook page, in particular for each individual event. So make sure to prioritize those as what you follow for info on MAG.
So when it comes to saving money for it, the con club is what I called it instead of your Christmas club. You can explain that because you brought that up.
So this is a couple of things I've talked about. It's a little boring, and it's not going to be like an insane amount of money, but there's a couple of tips here I've thought about that can save it. Now, of course, MAGFest happens around this time every year, plus or minus, 2 to 4 weeks around this time. Not too far after Christmas. Now, if you happen to have a friendly local bank, or your even big bank does it, I'm just a big fan of local, they often do what's called a Christmas Club account. The idea is you start putting money into this in January. They might just take a little out of your paycheck, whatever, and then it saves up all year with a comparatively high interest rate. You can't touch this money, you can't pull it out, so never put in more than you can't get out. Well, you can, but you lose every interest thing if you do pull it out in an emergency. But regardless, then sometime between the end of October to mid-November, they either cut you a check or they put it back into your account. You've got everything you've saved, plus a nice little interest bonus. It's not insane, but it's more than zero. It's in addition to what you saved. And then you just have to have a little bit of self-discipline to not spend that until MAGFest. But, $10 a paycheck or something like that, it does add up. I think I'll go ahead and cover the other two I talked about too. There's a couple of other things, they're minor. I work on a college campus. I won't tell you which publicly, but if you want to, I'll tell you later. We have a Starbucks. I'm in the admissions office, and like any good admissions counselor, I am fueled entirely by caffeine. So naturally, every single day, we go to Starbucks. Okay, that's a weekly, daily habit. If you have one of those, maybe, instead of doing it 5 times a week, I do it 4 times a week. I take that $5 on Thursday, and I put it aside. Especially if I can do it in cash and just put it aside, don't touch it. That's not an insane amount, but if you do that consistently, do that for 52 weeks, that's 260 extra bucks, and I'm not going to turn that down at MAGFest or any convention.
And that could be the difference between your badge or like if you want the big tier or something like that. Because like the tiered also, if you want some of the tiered stuff, start factoring that into next year now, especially because I cannot confirm, no one can confirm or deny this. I would bet money that next year's Bigma tier will go up in price.
And to break down what that is that maybe some folks don't know, just to be super clear, MAGFest does kick-in merchandise you can buy alongside your badge every year. There's usually 3 tiers plus an ultra-secret crazy tier, but we won't get into that. It's cool. There's a lot of pre-order stuff that you only get from that. You're going to be able to pick it up sometime during the convention, whatever. Really cool stuff, right? And it can vary from as simple as the T-shirt to, second tier usually has the swag, goes bigger. But we do anticipate, because gestures broadly at everything, those prices may go up a little bit next year. So, stay out ahead of that.
So when it comes to saving money at the convention, I always suggest bringing your own soda, snacks, bring protein bars, stuff like that. That stuff, if you can spend, I know protein bars and protein snacks are expensive, but if you can spend that now, or you can spend that before the convention, everything goes exponentially up in price once you get either to like the harbor or in a major city, or if they know that there's a convention happening, they will start to jack up the prices for stuff. This will help you save money at the convention. This was a huge game changer for me. I've been bringing food and snacks and my own energy drinks because I can get them at home for a fraction of the cost. And that's going to just help you kind of keep your spending in check. Plus, like I said in the previous slide, you need to eat. We'll get into the health stuff of it in a little bit, but I hate to break it to you, you gotta eat. And then look at the hotel you're staying at. Once you do know where you're staying, look at what amenities it has. You might not need to, like, they might have coupons for people who stay there. They might have, if it has a continental breakfast. I know we don't want to wake up early, but going to continental breakfast and saving, eating as much as you want for essentially nothing, or spending $25 on a sandwich. Check your hotel, see what stuff you get with the room stay.
And some conventions actually give you a coupon book with your badge that can be used at local restaurants and other stuff like that. We encountered that for the first time at one in June, and that was cool.
Yeah,
for lack of a better
at
term.
Origins, they hand you a book of coupons when you pick up your badge. So that was really cool.
I think I'll go ahead and take this next one because it's a one that comes up for a lot of folks every year. Somebody in your group is going to put the hotel on their card. If at all possible, put it on a credit card. This goes back to the money thing, and here's why. The hotel will put an extra amount as like an incidental whatever, that's probably an extra $300 to $400 on top of your bill that's now held as a pending charge on your card. You do that on a credit card, no big deal. You do that to your bank account, that's now $300 or $400 you can't access at the convention. So
it typically can take anywhere from 3 to 7 business days to get that $300 to $400 back. So if you check out on a Sunday or a Saturday, doesn't matter. The business days don't start till Monday, so you could be another week and a half without that $300 to $400, which can be a lot of money. We're going to hold all questions and everything till the end. I'm sure. Just so if you've got questions or comments or whatever, please make note. We will get to them. Prep work. So traveling to the convention. This is going to help. I get travel anxiety. So what happens is about 3 to 4 weeks beforehand, if I know, like when I drive to the National Harbor, I'm very lucky I can drive here. I will start looking. I was like, okay, I'm leaving at Wednesday at 9 a.m. I will start to go on Google Maps, and I will start to look at 9 a.m. on Wednesday what type of traffic they're going to have. What is the what routes might I encounter? Luckily, I've only had to take a alternate route twice. One of them happened to be this year, and it was awful. And like, don't wait to look at your travel stuff until the night before. There's already so much going through your mind. Did I pack this? Do I have this? Do I need this? Do I need this? Travel is one of those things that you can start to plan way in advance, especially if you're flying or taking the train. The sooner you can buy that ticket, typically the cheaper it will be.
Also, if you are driving, check your tires 2 to 3 weeks before you come to the convention. Don't ask.
It's funny, I had to get new tires last week. Familiarize yourself with the area that you're going to. This is also something like, for instance, we went to Origins this year for the first time. We had never been, and we stayed pretty much around the convention center. Once we left, we realized there's a whole lot more right near that convention. Places to eat, places to hang out, places to go, things to do. And it's a really nice area, but we missed it because we didn't pre-plan. We didn't look ahead. Same with the National Harbor. There's a bunch of stuff to do. Heck, if it's your thing, there's a casino over there. Look at where you're going. And then you can also start to think about where you want to eat. What type of, if you have dietary restrictions or anything like that, you can start to look at that stuff before you travel, before you get there, and you can start to make notes and all that. That way you know ahead of time. You're not getting there and stressing out. You're getting there, you know where you can eat, you know where you can go, you know what there is to do. You can just relax.
Not much to add to that except exactly what he said. Now, this is where we differentiate a little bit in our skill sets. Rennis is the planner. I'm more of the ranger of the party, where I get there and find the path once we're there. But that's cool because that means we have somebody who knows the area and somebody who's going to go explore it at the same time. So hopefully, I guess this is a good time to get this analogy. Hopefully the group you're going to a convention with would make a good D&D party, because that way everybody kind of has your skill sets. Take care of your cleric if you have one, P.S. That's all I'm going to say.
Getting the guidebook, we're very lucky at MAGFest to get the guidebook in advance. There are some conventions, it's not always going to be Guidebook the app. It's an other app. If start to look at the convention and what app you can usually find on Discord, Facebook, whatever, what app or they'll be using to show their schedule, their maps, all that stuff. The sooner you can look at the maps and sooner you can look at, especially for, we'll get into some more MAGFest stuff, the sooner you can start planning your schedule, the better. And when you get that guidebook, even if stuff conflicts, add it to your list. You can edit later. First round through, I'm going to go to that. I want to go to that. I want to go to that. And then you can edit later. You can always change that later. I'd much rather personally have way too much to do and have to choose than do not know what to do nothing, and miss out on something that I would have really enjoyed.
Alongside that, if you are using a guidebook or similar app, make sure that notifications are enabled. Big one. And I think, actually, just to add a little mag flavor to this too, and why the guidebook is very essential right now, it's also where you will sign up for a lot of things, like pre-registering for autographs, or potentially the charity tattoos, or some of the makerspace workshops and things like that. So make sure to check in there, check that actual description of a thing you're going to, or when you see the celebs and stuff like that, that's how you'll sign up through this. One final thing that is unique to this convention that we love, and you hopefully will see it on your TV at some point, is Mag TV. I'll let somebody else promo something here in a second potentially, but what I will say is a lot of events will be aired live on that, or they will be replaying things maybe later, like maybe a huge concert might get replayed the next morning, so if you couldn't make both, you could see something. And then a lot of panels and things like this, it's my understanding, I think may end up on YouTube months later down the line, so you can catch up things that you might have missed, which, should we go ahead and address the FOMO?
I do have something on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, another big one, this is, I'll probably get on a little bit of my soapbox. So, how to prep your health. Any convention, especially MAGFest, because it is 24/7, you are putting your body through something that it doesn't typically go through. You're probably not going to eat enough. You're not going to sleep enough. You're not going to drink enough water. You're going to drink way too much caffeine, probably too much alcohol. You're going to pertain to, like, you're just going to do things that you typically wouldn't do, especially at MAGFest, for 72 to 96 hours. You are putting your body through literal hell when you go to a convention most of the time. So, what does that mean? You need to, I'm a big champion of like being active and eating at least semi-healthy, if at all possible. I am one of those, and this is where we also differ, I think. I don't typically, unless I am sick, I don't typically wear a mask. I don't typically get the flu shot because there's a bunch of other stuff to go in with it. But ever since that I personally have kind of lived a healthier lifestyle, I don't typically get con crud anymore. And that all comes from prep work. I eat pretty well. I take a multivitamin will change your life, promise you. And it's one of those things, like if you already don't do these things and then you put your body through like something even worse, it's going to break down even farther. It's like if you drive on a flat tire, you have the potential. No, oh, sorry, Andy. You drive on a flat tire, you have the potential to damage your car further. It's kind of like that, just general upkeep. I also see people like, hey, start prepping your immune system, start taking vitamin C and stuff. I'm here to tell you, I was in the health and fitness industry for 6 to 7 years. In order for your body to fully get the vitamins and nutrients and understand really to its fullest extent, you have to take it for 30 to 60 days. If you start hammering vitamin C in a week before you go to a convention, your body's just going to expel it. It's just what's going to happen. It doesn't know what to do with it, and it just gets rid of everything that it, quote unquote, does not need. It's the same thing with water. If you chug a bunch of water, you're going to have to pee. If you sip the water, if you drink it up until a certain point, your body understands and gets hydrated, and it's a whole thing.
But absolutely. I mean, everybody, has their personal levels of protection they feel comfortable with. So certainly, masks help. They do their job. And certainly, COVID boosters, flu shots, these are very valuable things for folks who, don't shy away from that. I mean, certainly they can help. We all make our own choices, but, there's certainly extra layers out there. And if that helps, absolutely, yes.
And I don't know if other conventions do this. MAG is really good about, they have masks I believe at accessibility or medical, they have masks. So if you forget a mask, you need a mask, please go ask. Someone will hook you up, help you out, which is another great thing about MAGFest. This is one of the most helpful conventions and fests we've ever been to. More prep work. So this is just going to be a brief list. There are other things, and I'll explain. This is a lot of what this is a lot of what I bring. So, power strips. You will never have enough outlets in your room. If you're in a room with 4 to 5 people, you will never have enough outlets. Bring power strips. Preferably, if you're in an atrium room, bring one with a 10-foot cord that has the flat cable. You can slide it under the door, so you can keep the doors closed and have a charging space out on your balcony.
But full disclosure, only do that while you're out there because, of course, the Gaylord does frown upon having things on atrium balconies that are not supposed to be there. So make sure not to do that.
Camping table. You can buy these little small camping tables. In some of the rooms, they fit really well next to one of the beds. If not, it's just more surface area for you to put stuff. You can have your own personal space. They're 2 by 2 feet. Reusable silverware. It is the worst when you buy something to eat. You go up to your room, and then you realize you've waited 10 or 15 minutes to get there because the elevators are packed, and you realize, I have forgotten silverware. Do I want to eat it with my hands, or do I want to go back down and go back up? We'll get to it.
Until you've seen somebody eat a steak with their bare hands, you have not lived.
Bring a resealable water bottle and hot cup. Some do both. That's great. If you don't really want to be like I don't have it. I carry a 64-ounce water bottle with me typically, and then I also have a cup that I can put like coffee and stuff in as well. Dude wipes, baby wipes. That goes without saying. Tums and Zantac. We are getting old. We travel with a pharmacy essentially, and there was, I think it was at Origins. I got a new flavor of Tums, and we were like, "Ooh, let's try it." Yeah, your body will thank you.
I had forgotten about that. This did happen. I'm gonna go away now.
Sleep mask and earplugs. That's another thing that we do not share is our sleep schedules. I was in bed last night at 9:30. I was up at 4:30. Everyone else was asleep. In order for me to sleep and allow them to still hang out, watch TV, whatever, I bring earplugs and a sleep mask. So when I'm ready, when you're ready, whoever's ready can go to sleep. And we'll get into the room stuff. A power bank. You're not always going to be able to sit down and charge your phone in a hallway or something, especially if it's super packed. Sometimes they frown on that. Bring a small power bank. You can buy them on Amazon for like $20. A massage gun. Once again, we're getting old. We're going to be on our feet a lot over the next couple, and if you're not used to being on your feet, you're not have the right shoes, et cetera, you're going to be hurting.
Or if you're wearing a heavy or uncomfortable cosplay all day, or uncomfortable cosplay shoes, because some folks will commit to the bid and they don't care what their feet are going to happen, or happens to their feet at the end of the day.
Electrolytes, I missed out. Electrolytes. Water is great. Electrolytes help your body to distribute that water and hold on to that water. You need salt. You just don't want too much of it. Electrolytes, if you partake too much at the bar, electrolytes will also help. Try to get the sugar-free ones if at all possible. At the convention, make your room your home. So, and this, I kind of alluded to this, part of being at a convention is, especially MAGFest, is meeting new people and hanging out and having these parties and stuff. Remember, it is your room. If you want people to leave, it's okay. If you're ready, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and people are hanging out, please do not be afraid to say, hey, had a great time, I need to go to bed. If they can't respect that, maybe they shouldn't be in your room to begin with. Also, just talk to your roommates. The 4 or 5 of us who are in a room this year had a very conscious decision and discussion this year that this year we don't really want to have anyone else in our room, just because it's too crowded. There's all sorts of stuff going on. That is okay. It is your room. If you don't want to have people in your room, just discuss it with your roommates. This is the big one. Here's the dealing with the FOMO. At 2 o'clock, The vendor hall is going to open. If you've never been, remember to breathe. I just remember my first, it is a lot. This is 72 hours of an assault on your senses. There's music everywhere. There's lights everywhere. There's yelling everywhere. There's people everywhere. Breathe. It's going to be okay. Dealing with FOMO, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and cover the FOMO part because you can't see everything. You won't see everything. And there are things that will happen that were not scheduled, not planned, and just occurred that you and the two people sitting next to you will be the only people who will ever see it. Maybe a cosplayer did something, maybe they snuck out of bounds and jumped on an area for a cool pose, and 5 people saw it plus the photographer and you're it. You shared that moment with those 5 people, which is super cool. It's a million little moments like that. But like we talked about earlier, you're not going to see everything. You can't. You're not going to be able to partake in everything. You can't. That's okay. Focus on what you're doing and enjoy it to the most, and don't worry about what you're missing. It's a very simple thing to do when you have this much going on. And of course, plan ahead a little bit. And if you decide, man, I'm really into this, I was going to go to this thing, but I'm really digging what I'm doing right now, stay with what you're digging. It's okay. You're in that moment. Enjoy that moment. Don't feel like you have to leave a thing to do a thing. Just vibe. Have fun.
And be okay with going to things by yourself. I know it's scary sometimes. I know we all get anxious being in a new environment and by ourselves. It's okay if your friends don't want to share that interest. It's okay. It's okay if they don't want to go to that concert. Do yourself a favor. If you can, please go to that concert. Go to that panel. Go for you as well. Take care of yourself too. And take breaks. Like I said, this is a 72-hour assault on your senses. If you need to go take a nap, do it. If you need to sit down, find a place to sit down. There's the quiet room here at MAGFest. I don't know if other conventions do that, but there is a quiet room. Please utilize that. If something is happening and you need help, please talk to a volunteer. They can point you in the right direction, staff, accessibility, whoever. Please take breaks. Take care of yourself. Along with that, finding things to do outside the room. If you just don't know what to do, try to find something new, interesting, kind of interesting to go do. That way it's going to help you maximize your time. Go to, one of my favorite things to do, and I don't know what else to do, is to go to one of the jam sessions or the jam clinics and just sit in the back and listen to music, because at least I'm getting that. Or go over to the board game hall and find a board game to play. If you just don't go up and sit in your room, because then you will get the FOMO. Then you will have that, oh, I could have been doing this, or I should have been doing this. I spent 4 hours in my room. It happens. It happens. It happens to me every year. But finding things that might interest you, or even you have a fleeting interest in, find something that you've never done before, and go watch it. Go even just stop in for 5 minutes and be like, okay, this isn't for me, and then go find something else to do. That's the beauty of most conventions. That's the beauty of MAG. Most conventions go for a long time, 9 a.m. to 6 to 7, sometimes later. With MAGFest, that's the beauty, is there is always something going on. A panel, a concert, a rave, an inside joke, a something, a meetup, whatever. There's always something to do at MAGFest.
Did we have a note about the museums and stuff? Or?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So adding a little bit more specific MAGFest flavor, some stuff that sometimes people don't know about or forget to check out in this vein. I'm going to highlight a couple here that I think are always worth looking at. One is MAGFast, F-A-S-T, which of course is our own speedrunning thing that's happening now and will be pretty much till the end of the convention. A lot of really cool stuff there and a lot of different runs. For example, it's my understanding earlier this morning somebody tried to run Mega Man X on lemons, actual lemons as a controller.
I don't know if they tried. I think they did.
Or they did. I hope they did. I don't want somebody to try that and fail. I want them to succeed. I want to live in that world. But make sure to check that out. That's actually very close to here. Another is the Computer Museum. Going from way back, computers and other things like that. Some of it is just display. You might see development consoles and things like that. But a lot of this stuff is there, old computers and other things like that. And they're there for you to play. They're there for you to experience, sit down, and enjoy. And yes, many of them will be running Doom.
I think they have Steel Battalion, the Xbox
nice.
one with like the huge controller and the foot pedals and stuff. I think they have that set up.
And that's something they do too, just exactly that, is rare consoles or rare controllers and stuff like that. And speaking of odd controllers, where you'll sometimes find those, one of the main halls, of course, is the Indie Arcade. And don't sleep on that. There's, like 100 maybe or more or less, somewhere in that ballpark, indie game developers who are there showing off their game during a lot of different hours of the day that they would love to have you partake of it, play of it. Some of it is a thing you can only do here because the controller is so unique or the experience is so unique. Some of them have just recently been published on major consoles, which is awesome because you get to see sometimes a game grow over 5 years and then one day you see like, oh wait, that's on the store now? Holy crap, I know these guys. Also, they often have lots of free little trinkets to give away, like badge ribbons and stickers and shiny things. So those 3 things that sometimes people sleep on, there's a lot more, but like those are things that are sort of ad hoc. You can just wander through and enjoy them when you have that downtime. But I wanted to give some examples specifically that you could find here and encourage you to explore more because, well, like I said earlier, Ranger.
Start a group chat if you haven't already, and every morning do a check-in, especially if you're not in the same room or you haven't talked to them. And like Andy pretty much always every morning checks in, like puts in, hey, just checking in, where is everyone? Or even throughout the day.
Specifically, it's sound off if you're still alive.
This is something very important, especially if you continue to come back to the same conventions. Tip well. A lot of times, especially in a hotel, those same people will be back year after year, and they will remember you. Plus, the hotel staff is going through
hell.
Yeah. Now, they apparently, from what I understand, they love MAGFest, but we are a lot. We are here for, like I said, 72 hours. Treat them well, tip them well. They are working their butts off this for the next 3 or 4 days.
And just a quick survey because we want to know, like, just to find our people. Raise your hand if you ever cried or screamed in a walk-in freezer. You know what we're talking about.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what you need to know, and why we made a point of mentioning that.
And we stand by this. Yeah, Nando's down the street is mid.
Clarify more.
It's not. It's fine. It's just fine food. It's nothing.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's not life changing like some people think it is. Clean up as you go. Your hotel staff will definitely thank you for this. Ask when you see the hotel staff out in the side, ask them for a trash bag, and they will give it to you. They will gladly give it to you. Plus, the worst thing on Sunday or whenever you check out is like, I have to check out in 2 hours. Oh, and there's crap, boxes and bags, and then there's like, I don't know what to do with all this. Clean up as you go. Your brain will thank you.
Not to mention, it just makes your room a lot nicer for the stay. So
remember, this is your home. I kind of think of it as camping a little bit. The way I kind of like
once you started bringing an actual camp table,
yeah,
I think,
yeah. This goes for any convention, but MAGFest especially. We've kind of already covered this, but Adam from the charity auction was talking to me about this, and he wanted me to say something. This is a marathon, not a sprint. If you get here on, let's say, day 0, Wednesday night, and you get obliterated, you're already behind. You're never going to catch up. Typically, most people get crazy on Saturday night. If you can wait till then, because I would hate for you to go crazy, oversleep, and miss that panel, miss that concert, especially this year, because we have some very special concerts happening. I would hate for you to miss that. Remember, but I will say with this caveat, this is the fastest marathon you will have that's not a sprint. It just moves so quickly. Stretch every morning. This goes back to you're on your feet, you're just up and about a lot. Stretch every morning. And then get out of the hotel/convention center. daily. Your body will thank you. Get some fresh air, get some sunlight, especially this year because it's nice and warm. We're going to speed up through these a little bit.
Yeah, because we definitely want to make sure there's time for some questions, clarifications, etc.
This next one is very important. If going down the stairs, just use the stairs. And that being said, you do not have to go up to go down. I will fight about this. So, MAGFest employees, staff, my goal was one day, we're dressed as the Mythbusters for a reason. I want to test this, okay? Because what happens is, if you, gotta go up to go down, and you need to go, especially if you just gotta go like 2 floors down, no. The stairs are free. If you have to go up to go down, no. Because then what happens is you fill the elevator, and then the people who are waiting to go down are not, we will get to all questions at the end, I promise. It's also extremely frustrating when you are waiting for the correct elevator, and then you have people who hop on, and then you see them come back down. It's like, you didn't have to do that. And then you're just packing the elevators even farther. Spending your money. Take a lap. Don't just start buying as soon as you get in there. There's a lot in there.
I can do this super quick. When you're buying shiny things, if you want to buy a rare game, comic, whatever, I ran a video game store for 7 years, so I learned too much about this, and it's ingrained in me. Know the value of the thing you're going to buy and that it's actually worth it. Quick example, Mario Kart 64. That cartridge should be about a $40 cartridge all day, every day. Now, if somebody has a slight markup, it's in good condition, it's within the noise, it's 45, and you want it, yeah, sure, that's fine. If they're trying to charge 60, walk away. You can find that card any day. This is just a minor example, but sometimes at conventions, and this is true across the board, just know the value and the worth of what you're buying, which leads to one other thing. Pokemon buyers beware. There is nothing on this earth more faked, reproduced, and bootlegged than the GBA and original DS Pokemon games. So learn what to look for in terms of fakes, reproductions, etc. Now, those repros might work, and if they're only charging a repo price and that's what you're okay with, sure. If somebody's got Emerald for $19 and that's, you know what it is, yeah. But if they're charging Emerald money for a repro Emerald, don't do it. So just educate yourself a little bit about those things. We're speeding through, but that's a big one.
Keep some cash on you. There are some vendors who will knock off a couple bucks if you say, I've got cash. Okay, because then they're not having to pay the fee for their credit card system or whatever. If you give them a couple bucks of cash, especially on the last day of the convention, when they don't want to drag that stuff all back home, they're willing to wheel and deal a little bit. So keep some cash. Credit card for non-vendor hall purchases. This is just so you, I know some debit cards, if you use your bank account over and over in a foreign place, they'll shut you down. That's the worst thing, is to be 2.5, 3 hours farther from your bank and having to get your debit card unlocked, and you're on the phone because you've used it 1,000 times in New York City or whatever.
And additionally, if fraud were to happen, it happened to your credit card, not your bank account.
This is important post-convention. What now? We've all heard of post-con depression. Plan your next con, plan your next cosplay, plan your next event. Just start planning. Keep moving. Don't just go home. I know it's going to be one of those things where, I just want to veg out. Keep moving. Take a walk. Get some air. It will, I promise it will help. A little bit. We all go home and we're all sad that, it's over. But I don't just, if you can avoid it, don't just, not wallow. That's not the word I want to use, but that. Eat well and hydrate. Remember, you've just put your body through a tough time. You need to rehydrate. You need to eat, fully eat a home-cooked or something close meal. Go on a gaming binge. Play that game you've always wanted to play. I'm probably going to start Fallout, I hate to say it, Fallout New Vegas when I get back. I've been waiting for it. It's my least favorite one. I'll talk about it later if you want. I will take that heat. I will talk to you about it all day long, just not now.
Meanwhile, I'm playing through the entire Legend of Heroes series. I'm on Azure as we speak.
Watch panels, concerts back on YouTube. The beautiful thing about MAGFest is they put up almost every concert and almost every panel that they've done. They've been doing it for years. You can go back and watch as much as you want. Let's see. Start your next con fund. Yeah, I spelled that wrong. Start that con fund immediately. And then this is yours.
I will stand by this, and if there's a hill I will ever die on, it is that grilled cheese and tomato soup will heal your soul. And with 5 minutes left, I think it's Q&A time.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so just some things to add. So for credit card, even though it's the best way, check your...
I'm going to pause you in case we have like questions. Is that all right?
All right.
We do have one question.
Yeah.
We do have one question, sorry.
Yep. Yes. No.
You'll hear both. You'll hear you got to go down to go up to go down. It's about 66, 33%, something like that, but you'll hear both.
Just go the way that you need to go. Don't fill the elevator unless you absolutely have to, please. Any other questions? Yes.
It's mostly photo stuff and being like in the convention all day. What if you're in an Alexandria?
So the question, if in case you couldn't hear, what if you're in the Alexandria Hotel? Plan. I know it's difficult this year because the shuttles are brand new. No one really knows how the shuttles, from what I hear, knock on wood, they're running really well. We'll see how it goes throughout the convention. If you're in Alexandria, make a checklist of everything that you think you might need and start going through that checklist. And on the flip side, if you don't 100% need it, I'd hate for you to have to carry it around for 24 hours and be like, well, this was pointless. Make that list, make your list and check it twice.
Also, a couple of things to make sure you have in your convention bag. One, that power bank. A, you need to charge your phone. And B, it's a great way to make friends because other people will need to charge their phones. Water, some type of snack that is not melty because nothing sucks more than, hey, I've got this really good power bar made of chocolate and now I just have regret 2 hours later. Also, you have your backpack. You can hold some stuff in there, but you might buy a bigger, shinier thing. A collapsible, bigger bag to keep in that is a good idea, too. In particular, if you're traveling to and from further on, like, the bus routes to Alexandria and stuff. Good ideas always, but in that case, I think I'd reemphasize that even a little bit more.
We have time for probably one or two more questions. Does anyone else have a question pertaining to convention, to MAGFest itself? If there's, I do have a question. How many people is their first convention? Fantastic. Welcome. How
Congratulations. We're sorry.
Is anyone's first MAGFest? Awesome.
Congratulations.
Welcome.
We're sorrier.
Welcome to the family. It is going to be. It's going to be a time.
This is a fantastic thing that you might not fully process till afterwards, but thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
We love that you're here. You guys are going to have a blast.
And we were talking beforehand, if you have any questions, ask a staff member, ask a volunteer, ask a random person. If you find us out on the floor and have a question, please ask us. This is one of the most helpful community that we've gone to at a convention or fest.
And real quick, if you need a badge for your ribbon that says forklift certified, I've got you.
I also have ones that say, you've been hit with the old razzle dazzle.
Actually, I should say there's a typo.
There's another
here.
one.
It's forklift certified or forklift certified. Your choice. And then I think you did have some.
Did you have yeah.
I have a few things. I'll make it quick. So when you're using a credit card and for booking, make sure it's depending on the line of credit. So make sure you pay.
Check your line of credit on your credit card.
Okay, and in addition to that, vitamin C. I'm a pharmacist.
Sure.
So the reason why you can't do vitamin C like all in one shots because it's water-based. So your kidney's gonna get rid of what's extra. And there's an alternate for Zantac because Zantac used to be banned in the U.S. They're bringing it back. It's not ranitidine, it's famotidine. Pepsid is the other one. You can also do Tums as well. There's omeprazole as well.
We just bring it all. Between the five of us, I think we bring just about every, I think we have Excedrin, Tylenol sinus, Tylenol extra strength, ibuprofen, like naproxen sodium. We have it all.
All right. I have to call you out on this one.
That's okay.
So Tylenol or acetaminophen, maximum is 3,000 milligrams. So that's basically 6 tablets of 500, for example. And the maximum for ibuprofen is 3,200. Take it with food. Okay, so you have to keep track of the numbers. not mix any NSAIDs together, like ibuprofen and the product. Do not do that. It's going to affect your stomach.
All right, thank you. Nope, I think that is time. It is 1:45. Wrap it up. Okay, we are going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you would like a badge ribbon, we have a couple. Thank you all. Like I said, if you have more questions, if you think about something tomorrow and can find one of us, please
When in
ask.
doubt, look for the Boba Fett backpack.
Thank you all so much. Enjoy MAGFest.
And one last thing, please, can we get another big hand for our staffers?
Thanks, everyone.